Hi everyone and welcome back to Art with Mrs. Hudson. Today we are going to create a robot, but in this shape robot that we create, we are going to show the elements of art. So we are going to start out with writing the words elements of art. So we do this across the top of our page. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to start out with our robot's head. So we want to make sure that we leave a little bit of space between the top of the head and the words elements of art. So I'm going to start out with creating a square shaped head. Then I am going to create my rectangular body. After I create my rectangular body, I am going to create my shapes that are going to be my legs and my arms. So instead of overlapping my shapes, I am going to just have it continue from the robot's body. And I am going to make this leg come straight down. I'm making sure to leave some space for my feet. And I'm going to do the same thing for my arms. I'm going to come up at an angle, do the top part of a rectangle, but I'm going to continue and just stop when I hit my other shape. And then I'm going to do this arm, going in the opposite direction. Again, I'm making sure to leave some space for my hands and my feet. Next, we want to add one more square for the neck. And I think we need to now add our hands. So for my hands, I'm just simply going to add some circles. You can go ahead and make them fancier if you choose to, but I am just going to use my basic geometric shapes in creating my robot. So for his feet, I'm going to do some ovals. Alright, so now in my shape robot, so the whole robot is made of shapes. Right? But we are going to also add shapes to his face. So I'm going to do some circle eyes. I'm going to do a triangle nose. And I'm going to do a rectangle mouth. Now I want to show space. So for space, S-P-A-C-E, I am going to add his buttons. So in between his buttons, I want to make sure to leave some space. So I'm going to start out with a square, and I'm going to do maybe a triangle. Maybe my next shape is going to be a circle, and we'll do a rectangle. Maybe a diamond shape for another button. But inside my buttons, I want to make more buttons. So I'm going to overlap just to kind of give them a cool looking design. So space. So I have created space around my shapes. Now in my arms, I'm going to create some lines. So there's all different kinds of lines you can create. One kind of line is a zigzag line. So maybe I'll do some zigzag lines along the outside edges of this arm. And maybe I'll do a dotted line. Maybe I will do a wavy line. And on this side, maybe I will do a straight line. And then maybe I will do a loop-de-loop line. Maybe I'll do more of a lightning bolt zigzag. So those are lines. Next, I want to create value. So now value is created by having heavier pressure and less pressure. So the more pressure you put on your tool you're using, so in this case I'm using a crayon, the darker my color is going to be. The less pressure I put on my tool, the lighter my crayon is going to be. So it's going to create more of a tint rather than a shade. So light things are called tints, dark things are called shades, and all of them together make our value. So I'm going to start out at the top, and as I go down, I'm going to stop pressing as hard, and I'm just loosening up a little bit, and I'm adding less value. So a light value at the bottom, and I have a dark value at the top of his legs. Alright, so we have shape, line, space. Now we're going to write value. V-A-L-U-E. Value. Now we also need to add our color. So we have some color that we use for our value, but we also want to add other colors. So I am going to start out with maybe my hands and my feet are going to be colorful. So I'm going to start with red, and then I'm going to do some orange, and then in the middle I'm going to make some yellow. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but these are all cool colors, or I'm sorry, warm colors. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to start with my red, then my orange, and then my yellow. And then I'm going to use my cool colors to create my feet. So I did use my, well, this is an indigo blue, so I'm going to use some blue. Actually, let me start with the purple on the outside. So I'm going to use my purple or my violet all the way around the outside. Do the same thing on the other foot. So these here are our cool colors. They make things feel a little bit colder. And then I'm going to do, let's do blue next. So this is actually more of like a blue violet. Indigo blue. And we have green for the center. So those are my cool colors. If you want some extra credit, you can write cool colors. But you just have to write colors somewhere on your page. And I'm going to write warm. I'll write really small here, just so that I can remember that for future use, right? Okay, so now we have line, shape, space, value, color. We need texture. So our crayons kind of create a texture all on their own. But what we want to do is we want to make a little bit more texture by adding, I'm going to add some spiky hair. So I'm going to use, what color of hair do I want it to have? Let's go with orange hair. So I'm going to do some spiky hair. You could also do loop-de-loops and have like fluffy hair. So I'm gonna make my guy have spiky hair. So this is a spiky texture just by creating kind of zigzags. Oops, something's under my page there. Whoops, now it's on his face. I don't know what I got under there. All right, so my crayon doesn't want to come off. That's all right. All right, so now if you want to, you can go in and you can color his eyes. You can color his hair in, because we got spiky hair with texture. Remember, if you're creating a texture, sometimes it's nice to not fill in all your space. So if there's white areas showing, that's okay. We don't mind. I'm going to give him a red mouth, and let's give him a green nose. And if you want to go in and you can add color to your buttons, you can. My crayons aren't the best, so they're kind of smearing a little bit. But when we're working from home, we work with what we've got, right? All right, so there's that. Let's add some purple on the insides. If you want to color his body and his arms, you can, but I think I'm going to keep mine white. Awesome, great job everyone, and I look forward to seeing the robots that you create. Don't forget to label your Elements of Art robot with your shape, line, space, value, texture, color, and if you want extra credit, warm colors and cool colors, as well as adding in some 3D forms somewhere in your picture. Have fun!